edition of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
Mabry, touchdown! Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three! Oregon leads!
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row!
Oregon is headed to the Super Regional. Big Ten champions, your Oregon Ducks.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Oregon inbound. Up top to Shellstad. Shellstad. Long three. Oh! Tie game! Ducks got to play D. Klesmit with it. Shellstad defending. Klesmit to the free throw line. Jumper off the rim. Overtime in Madison. Wisconsin into Blackwell. Launching at the buzzer. Ducks win at number 11, Wisconsin. 77-73. Oregon storms back.
That was the headliner to what was a tremendous weekend as a whole in Oregon athletics. Across the board, the Ducks were outstanding in every sport, in every facet. Oregon played extremely well. Talk about the comeback, 17-point comeback, 15-point late in the game comeback for Oregon men's basketball. That was one of them. Also, Oregon women's basketball celebrating what was a tremendous senior day and a resounding win at Matthew Knight Arena to close out their home slate this season. How about Oregon softball, who went 5-0 at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic with wins over what you could consider 4 ranked teams, depending on which poll you're looking at, and a bona fide top 5 win on the weekend. Oregon baseball won a series. Oregon lacrosse is off to a 4-0 start in program history for the second time in program history and the second consecutive year. Oregon Beach volleyball started their season 3-0 on the start to the year. And Oregon track and field set a collegiate record, and I didn't even get to it all. That's how good of a weekend it was for the University of Oregon this weekend. Really tremendous stuff, but I think that the headliner has to be Oregon men's basketball and their comeback win against Wisconsin, because this was a Wisconsin team that was playing tremendous basketball. It won 13 of 15 going into the game, had won 4 in a row going into the game against Oregon. The Ducks found themselves down 17 early in the ball game, found themselves down 15 points at the under 8 media timeout. The Ducks went on a 19-4 run to close regulation and force overtime. Wisconsin did not make a shot in the final 3:15 of the game. They didn't take a shot from the 3:15 mark to when Klesmit shot it on the mid-range you just heard at the end of regulation where he missed and the game went to overtime. The Ducks forced 5 turnovers in a row down the stretch. Wisconsin couldn't generate any offense in the ball game. I thought this was a tremendous win for Oregon men's basketball, probably the best win for the Ducks on the season. The 77-73 overtime winner on the road in Madison, Wisconsin. Big time stuff from Jackson Shellstad and Nate Biddle, as well as a few other Ducks that got involved. Biddle had a tremendous game. 23 points, was 9 of 17 from the field, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks, got into early foul trouble, had 2 fouls early in the game, finished with 3 fouls. He did most of his work in the second half and wasn't baited into more foul trouble. Nate Biddle did a very strong job. Jackson Shellstad, 13 points, 5 of 14, 3 of 5 from 3, the biggest shot of the game at the end of regulation to hit the deep, beyond NBA three-pointer to tie it up and send it to overtime. Also had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Keyshawn Bartholomew had 14 points, was 5 for 11, 2 of 3 from 3. Jadrian Tracy was maybe his best game of the season. He had 11 points, was 4 of 7. KJ Evans was awesome. A rebound shy of a double-double, had 10 points, was 4 of 8 from the field, 9 boards. The Ducks forced 19 turnovers and 9 steals. Also had 5 blocks to Wisconsin's 1. Oregon, across the board, a resilient effort, an effort to battle back. A lot of the statistics ended even. For most of the game, they were heavily in Wisconsin's favor. Battling. Oregon got it done. Joey Mack with Dana Altman, his reactions after a resounding comeback victory.
Well, Coach, I was just talking before you sat down about some of the individual numbers, but let's just start with how proud you are of your guys coming back, forcing OT, and getting a win on the road.
Oh, absolutely. Showed a lot of character. Our defense really picked up second half. We had 17 points off their turnovers in second half and overtime, and that was the difference. We just picked it up, and the press hurt them a little bit of zone hurt them, threw them off the rhythm just a little bit, but we finally threw that ball inside to Nate. We got to get that ball inside, play inside out. When we did that, we got really good looks. So really good effort. Can't tell you how proud I am of them. This is, packed house. They're celebrating a Final Four team that, it's down 17. It takes a lot of character to man up and come back.
You guys, you talk about the defense, Coach. I mean, is that the defense you want to see throughout an entire game there down the stretch?
Well, I loved our activity. We got hands on balls, and that's, such a big key for us, getting activity and getting hands on balls. When they're just able to throw it in and go to work, it doesn't work very good. But when we have a little activity, we're a lot tougher defensively. And, I just thought our press helped us. I thought a lot of things helped us.
How about Nate, Coach? Just thoughts, offense, defense, the whole package.
Well, we got the ball into him. I was really mad at him when he got that third foul on a reach in the first half, but he really came back and had a tremendous second half. And, when we played through him, we're a much better team. And the first half, he didn't get in there. We didn't play through him, and that's why our offense struggled.
How about the fact that he did stay out of foul trouble there in the second half, Coach? I mean, that takes discipline.
No, I thought he did a good job. He contested shots without fouling, had hand activity without fouling. No, I was very pleased with his effort that second half.
Jackson hits the big shot for you.
Oh, man, that was huge. Had a little trouble from 2, but that was a big shot from 3.
In a situation like that, Coach, I remember you talking about Dylan Brooks with this. Like, you got to have a guy that wants to take that shot. He seems like he wants to take
he wants to take it now. I'm sometimes a little worried about his distance, but no, he wants to take it. And that's, he's hit it much, and the guys trust him. So, it's a good shot. I only disagreed with one of his shots. I wanted him to go inside there. I think we had like a 2-point lead or something. I wanted to go inside out, and he took a little quick one. But other than that, I thought his shot selection was pretty good. And, I keep talking to him about that. Anybody who takes the most teams or shots on your team, you got to have some accountability with it, and his teammates are watching, and even today he had 14 shots. Nate had 17, but when they're getting that many shots, you got to be accountable, and you got to take good ones, and you got to distribute the ball to his teammates. And, our ball movement at time wasn't what it needed to be, but all in all, the guys just showed tremendous heart coming back. 3
players in double figures. Saw some balanced scoring again.
Well, Nate and Jackson carried us, but Keyshawn hit some big shots, and really did a nice job. Hitting a couple big ones there in the second half to get us close.
KJ again, 9 rebounds for you.
Unbelievable, man. When he plays and just goes to the boards, he's just a different player. 10 points, 9 rebounds, tremendous effort. He did a great job.
February's closed, Coach, and got a little momentum now heading into the month of March.
Yep. No, we got a week here. We're going to take tomorrow and Monday off, let the guys get their legs back after a long road trip, and then we'll go from there.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Congrats on the win.
Dana Altman talking with Joey Mack post-game after a big 77-73 victory for Oregon men's basketball, brought to you by Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Better cancer care close to home. Dave Bowden live with us on Facebook in the 1 o'clock hour says that was the best half of basketball the men's team has played all season. I think I agree. It's hard to argue with that. I'm not sure what other half there even is to compete with it. That effort in the second half for Oregon men's basketball was tremendous. Put overtime in it as well. Oregon carried the momentum into the overtime period, and it was a big win. It was, for the Ducks this season, one of their biggest RPI and net wins of the year. Even after the loss, Wisconsin 13th in the net. Oregon now on a 4-game win streak. The Ducks 32nd in the net, 15th in the RPI. And you look at the quad 1 wins, 9-6 now in quadrant 1. That's the second most in the country for Oregon men's basketball. And I think the biggest thing to look at here is Oregon just came out of a gauntlet stretch in their schedule. Part of it was the 5-game losing streak before this 4-game winning streak, but now with the way the Big Ten schedule is slated, it was almost every other day where Oregon was playing games, or 2 days off in between with travel days in there. It was a gauntlet of a schedule that closed with Wisconsin. You heard Joey mention Oregon doesn't play again until the month of March 1st, on Saturday at Matthew Knight Arena against USC, will be when the Ducks are back in action on the men's side of things. Gives you some time to rest, gives you some time to recover, and gives you some time to refocus for the last 3 games of the regular season and now the stretch run of conference play coming up. Huge win for Oregon men's basketball that headlined a tremendous week around the rest of the Oregon Athletic Department. And I would be remiss if I didn't wish Phil Knight a happy birthday today. It's Phil Knight's birthday today. He's done so much for the University of Oregon. The foundation he set as a student athlete, for one, but also just as a benefactor for the university, has done so much for the University of Oregon. And we can't talk about a weekend like this, where Oregon has had so much success across the board, without recognizing Phil Knight and what he has set up and the foundation that he has provided here for the University of Oregon. A huge day in Oregon athletics, huge weekend in Oregon athletics. Big thanks to Phil Knight. Happy birthday to Phil Knight, doing so much for the University of Oregon. And well, over at Matt Knight, MKA, Oregon women's basketball had senior day. Spoiler alert, it was a success. We'll talk about it when we return on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said,
if it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, it's Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Ryan Milano with you here on a Monday, breaking down a stellar weekend in Oregon athletics. Just touched on men's basketball and their huge victory in overtime against Wisconsin, coming back from down 15 at the under 8 media timeout to win in OT 77-73. Nate Biddle, a huge part of it. Just coming down from the league office at the top of the hour. Nate Biddle, Big Ten Player of the Week. Well deserved for Nate Biddle. He certainly earned it. Every single bit of it. The 23 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks just in the game against Wisconsin alone. Game against Iowa earlier in the week also counts, where he had a very strong game as well to his Big Ten Player of the Week honors. Oregon women's basketball, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly Che was a Big Ten Player of the Week. 20 points, 25 rebounds on her senior night. What a huge, huge effort for Philly Che. The story of this game was really the seniors across the board. 6 seniors honored. Philly Che, Deja Kelly, Peyton Scott, Nani Falatea, Alexis Whitfield, and Salimatu Karuma were all honored on senior day for Oregon women's basketball. A class of 6 seniors for the Ducks, and Philly Che certainly headlined it. 20 points, 25 rebounds. Deja Kelly solid as well, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 15 points for Peyton Scott. The trio was awesome. We'll hear from them later in the program, but first, Kelly Graves, as it has been a senior class for Oregon women's basketball that has changed the trajectory and momentum of the program. We all know last year was not the year that Oregon women's basketball wanted. It was a downward trend for Oregon women's basketball. Then you get in a class like this, a senior class where most of them with this team for just this season. Philly's been with the team for all 4 years. Peyton Scott for the last 2. Everybody else has been with the team for just this one season. And well, just the way that Oregon has closed out their season at home. That's went 15-3 with plenty of quality wins at Matthew Nutter Arena this year. Giving the home fans something to cheer about. Huge. This whole team, this whole class, and what they've done for this program as a whole. I'm not sure how to quantify it. Kelly Graves tried to quantify it in his post-game. I think he'll do a much better job than I can. Kelly Graves, after senior day, a big win for Oregon women's basketball against Rutgers. Kelly Graves talking about the game, but mostly the seniors.
Whoa, excuse me. Okay. Great game. Really pleased with how everything worked out. It was an awesome game by our seniors. I thought they set the tone early and did a tremendous job. Like I told the crowd and I've told them, they put a lot of energy. They re-energized our basketball program. I'm really excited for them and happy for them and appreciative of everything that they've done. They're great examples. They produce on the court. And, it's a good group. It's a different feeling out there on senior night. I'm glad they got a chance to just get, the accolades and the appreciation from the fans. We obviously have a lot more games left. So, it's not one of those tear-jerking moments. So we've got a lot to do. But and then I can't say enough about Philly and how she played, to make this her swan song at Matthew Knight Arena. She's had a lot of really good moments. This is maybe the best. And it was pretty cool.
Sort of up and down for production. And most of her best seasons or best games are like the last couple of seasons. For it to happen tonight on senior day, can you speak to just the significance of?
Well, she's meant so much to the program. She's been here for the highs and for the lows, and she's just been a steady kind of force within the program. When we were recruiting last spring, she met with every recruit. She was the one that was that helped us build this thing. She's invested into the University of Oregon. I think she loves the fans. She's appreciative of the fans, and you can tell they appreciate her and love her back. So, yeah, I'm just happy she, had this kind of game in her final game here. But, boy, if she continues to play like that, I'm not saying she's got to get 20 and 25 every game, but if she's a force like that, we're a different team. We become a different team.
Over the last couple seasons, what has she meant just to you, to trust you, to to stay here through those ups and downs and finish her career here?
Well, I owe her a ton. She stuck it out, and and I think what that's going to do is, for the rest of her life, that's a character move. If you remember when she got here, she struggled to look people in the eye, looked down a lot, always had her hood on, and to see how she's just grown up, it's amazing. She is such an impressive person, even more so than she is a basketball player. And that, us coaches, to me, that's kind of what it's all about, really. To see her grow as a player. We've seen it night in and night out. But most importantly, who she's become. I think that's why we do what we do. And she is the poster child for that. Every Duck fan should be grateful that we had a chance to enjoy her for 4 years and now follow her journey after she leaves her. But I'm just really happy for her.
The seniors that obviously gave this year a chance here at Oregon, can you speak to just even Deja, Alexis, just as many as you can get through, just in how big they were and just what it meant to have their leadership this season?
Well, I owe them a great deal of gratitude just because they gave us a chance, and we obviously gave them a chance too, but they came in and they knew what we needed to do as a program to get back to where, we've been, and they've helped us to that end. So I owe them a ton. To see them every day, we do not have cliques on the team. They are great leaders. They're great young women. They're great teammates. And just if you come to our practice, you'll see Deja or Peyton, pull Katie Fiso aside and just, you can tell they're talking about, the game and what she can do different. And so their legacy, they've left a nice legacy, but I think it will continue. We're not done with seeing the impact that this group has had on the program. So I'm very grateful for all of them. Lexi, Solly, I feel bad that Solly just never got a chance, her body at 25 years old or 26, I'm not sure. She's up there. It just didn't allow her to play. But Nani, Peyton obviously has meant a lot to the program. You mentioned Deja. Deja's had an incredible year. It was fun to hear them talk about her accolades. I know she's obviously been a decorated player, but career highs in rebounding, in assists, in steals. So as much as she has accomplished, she went above and beyond. I think I hit them all. Okay. When there's 6 of them, it's not easy. When you're my age, you forget things.
When you think back to where this program was on senior night last year, and then how you're closing out this game, you're able to sub out your stars and you want to give them that ovation. What does that say kind of about the mentality that this program has and how that has developed over the last year?
Yeah, well, in some ways we started from scratch, and these guys are the one that, they clawed to where we are now. We had a great home season, 15-3 here at home. Our 3 losses were to 2 of the top 4 teams in the country, and Maryland, another ranked team. The crowd support this year, I think we're top 15 in the country in attendance, and we treated them to a lot of close games, and in those games their energy helped us through. So I'm not sure we win them all in those 1 and 2 point games without that support that we've gotten from the fans. So I think where we're at now with really good young kids that are ready to move on and the mantle will be passed to them, our recruiting's gone well. We still have a lot more to play for. I think our program now from where it was a year ago is completely different place.
These senior days, obviously throughout your career, I'm just wondering, every year, does it get harder? Does it get easier? I mean, you've watched, a lot of these women develop right in front of your eyes. What is it like for you this day, and what does it mean for you specifically?
Well, on this day, it's always about them. I'm glad they got a chance to kind of get recognized one by one as they came out of the game. This is what we do, and it's kind of the circle of life, right? Every 4 years, you get a new group that comes in, and the great thing about coaching is hopefully you can stay in their lives, and I don't know how many weddings I've been to. I've been, there when kids were born, and when they get their big either their honorary degrees or, life successes. It's really rewarding, to see them. And this group especially, I'm not sure I've ever had a group of seniors that, this smart. We've got 3 or 4 getting their graduate degrees while they're here, and they've got bright futures. Some of them definitely in the profession of basketball, but others and they're going to be successful in whatever they do. Honestly, this is an amazing group.
Had a rough shooting stretch kind of mid-season, but I think the last 2, maybe 3 weeks, she's really been on point. She helped you pull out some of these clutch games down the stretch. She was great against Nebraska. What do you think has helped her turn the corner here as the season is winding down?
You'll have to ask her that. I don't know if she's going to be one of the ones coming in, so I wouldn't attempt to answer it. I think she's just, she's a grinder. She never got down, and she's had her ups and downs, but boy, she's playing well when we really need it. That's the most important thing. She's been in big games. She's been to the NCAA tournament. Not a lot of our players have. So we're going to rely on her down the stretch to, for her leadership and obviously her production. But that's a great question to ask her.
Talked a lot about this season, about the development, and there's also been a lot of ups and downs, and you've been through these motions plenty of times. Do you feel like right now where this group is at, that you've hit the stride where you want to hit heading into the last game against Washington, and of course moving on to the Big Ten tournament?
I think we're playing pretty well. I really do. We're 10-5 over our last 15 games in conference. Our offense is starting to click a little bit. Struggle a little tonight, but that's coming around. Unfortunately, our defense is kind of let down, but we defended well tonight. If we can put those 2 aspects together, we have a chance to be a really good team and a tough out in whatever tournament we're playing in. I like how we're playing right now. I really do. And playing in this kind of conference, in my opinion, the best conference in the country, it prepares you once you get to that postseason.
Kelly Graves talking about senior day for Oregon women's basketball, a big win for the Ducks over Rutgers, honoring a few of the players. We'll get to talk with a few of the players. Philly Che, Deja Kelly, Peyton Scott on the other side on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Back in the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union, breaking down an Oregon women's basketball senior day victory and really celebrating a class of 6 seniors that have given so much to this program. Philly Che, Deja Kelly, Peyton Scott, Nani Falatea, Alexis Whitfield, and Salimatu Karuma, all part of this 6-woman class that were honored at Matthew Knight Arena earlier this week on Sunday. 3 of them. Philly Che, who had a 20-25 game, Deja Kelly and Peyton Scott, as well as a future Duck, all joined the podium and talked about the Senior Day festivities and everything that went into it, getting to hear from 3 of Oregon's stellar seniors.
Who's the youngest member of the group?
This is my niece, Olivia. My sister's right back there, her baby. First one, so kind of spoil her a lot. You say what?
What'd she think of the game?
Yeah, she loved the game, loved the energy, loved the crowd. Obviously wants to be a Duck one day, so just the beginning for her.
What was today like, and to have one of your best games on Senior Day must be pretty
Man.
Man,
I'll see those numbers.
It was a great day, very emotional day for me, and I was so happy that everyone was here to witness us play basketball today.
Mean anything? You're the 4th Oregon player ever to have a 2020 game.
I didn't know about that, but yeah, it means a lot.
Just thinking about like your journey in basketball, like learning the sport when you came to Canada, and then obviously your childhood growing up in Ghana. Like, how crazy is that sort of like journey for you to think about in this type of a moment?
I definitely didn't think I would be here. I didn't even know what basketball was, so it's kind of crazy where I'm at right now.
Nice, Phil.
How much did you kind of imagine and think about this day throughout your career? I mean, especially heading into this season, was it everything that you had hoped it would be, and just what did it mean for you, just this day in general?
Man, it meant a lot. I started thinking about it like a month ago because Brielle kept bringing it up. And so it's been in my head for a long time. So I was happy we were able to do good today.
What was it like to see her kind of maximize her size, abilities like that, and dominate in a way I think you guys probably know she can dominate a lot?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like the end of what you just said. Like, just continuing to let her know that we all believe and know what she's capable of, and sometimes she got to get out of her own way and get out of her own head. And you know, we try to continue to tell her a lot and just give her that confidence each and every game, and tonight is just a testament to what we've all known all year. So yeah, we know, Phil, we know, we've been waiting.
Hello.
Thank you guys. Thanks.
You're kind of walking off there during the last media tonight. You had like your arms out, and you're like, what were you thinking at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, the crowd, it was to get everyone to stand up and just, you know, really cheer on. We have a great group of seniors, a great team, but just to see the seniors, the way that I've seen everyone just kind of come into their own and be able to leave their mark on this program, whether that was for 4 years, whether that was for 1, 2, however many. I think just being able to, you know, feel the energy in the crowd one last time, I think was really special. And as some seniors who are off to bigger things, I think
better.
bigger and better. Well, I mean, this is great.
Don't get better than this.
Bigger and better, and you know. But yeah, I think it was just, you know, just to kind of feel the crowd's energy one last time.
You really embraced just what Oregon Duck culture is all about in just a single season. I'm just wondering, when did you feel like you had become a part of this culture, and just what has it meant for you to just have this final year here in Eugene?
Honestly, from day one, from game one, from day one, like with them, I think just the way that this community, the team, the program has just welcomed me with open arms. I think it was a two-way street. You know, I didn't know what to expect, and the community, the Oregon fan base, the Oregon community has just loved on me and supported me from day one. And I think for me, that was just something as a player I just needed, and as a person I needed. And to have that all the way throughout the season has been truly amazing. So that's why I was saying, I mean, what's a Duck? Always a Duck, truly, because I really felt like I've been here for longer than a year. That's how it's felt, because it's family. And that's something that I'll always remember for sure.
You
you saw what Scotty went through last year. What was it like to see her be able to come back and get to enjoy her senior day kind of in proper fashion like this and have join you guys for this moment?
It means a lot, obviously last year when she got injured, it wasn't very good for us, but like still on the bench when we're at practice, getting our energy up, she was still part of the team, and I'm just so happy she got to like show who she really is this year.
Deja, there's the midway stretch of the season where you're struggling to shoot the ball. The past 2-3 weeks, you've really kind of turned a corner. What do you think has it kind of been the impending, March is almost here? That's kind of what has been kind of
I guess you could say that, March is my time. That's where I have a lot of fun. But no, I think it's just, just staying confident. I think that period is where I really just felt the adjustment and kind of had to give myself grace too, that this was all super new for everybody, but just trying to still, impact winning in whatever way I could. And that's really what I was focused on. And now everything's kind of coming together. All of our pieces are coming together, and, it's a perfect time to do that right before March. And I think that I'm really excited for this group. I think we have a really good chance to make a really good run in both the conference tournament and in March Madness. So I'm really excited for what we can bring. Again, like I said, our pieces are finally coming together, and this is the perfect time for us to move on forward.
The point of everything kind of coming together, with all the players you guys added this year and some established players, it was a possibility.
Right.
It wasn't going to all kind of click the way it had. What does it say about somebody like a Deja that it all came together, everybody kind of bought into their role, and you guys were able to have the success you did?
Absolutely. From DK down, it's that buy-in. You don't get 9 new players and 6 returners from a very tough season turning into this without buy-in, without belief, without faith and trust in one another. And, all of us just coming in, doing our jobs. From day one, we talked about how deep and how versatile we are. And it was never, we're stepping on each other's toes or we feel like we couldn't be ourselves. There was growing pains for sure, but, we worked through them together. And ultimately, that's why we're getting the product we are right now.
Ups and the downs over your career here in Eugene. I'm just wondering, what made you stick around? Why stay here in Eugene, Oregon?
I was trusting the process. Kelly knew what was going to happen this year. I was always upstairs, with them. I just knew to believe in us, and obviously it's paid off. So.
Philly Che, Deja Kelly, Peyton Scott, and her niece Olivia, all at the podium. Breaking down a senior day win, really a senior season for Oregon women's basketball. It's the last time we'll see them at home at Matthew Nutt Arena, but that does not mean the job is finished. The season is finished. There's so much more to play for as we come through the stretch run of the season. One more regular season game for Oregon women's basketball. A similar break for the women this week as the men have, where Oregon women's basketball, they have a full 7 days between that Sunday against Rutgers and when they will finish the regular season on Sunday against Washington. It's a proven tough Washington team. Oregon saw that when Washington came to town last time, when really 2 weeks ago the Ducks were down late against Washington, 6 points with 3 minutes left. Came back to win 68-67 victory at Matthew Nutt Arena. Oregon trying to replicate and carry some more momentum into the Big Ten tournament. Oregon softball carrying tons of momentum as they come home for the first time this year next weekend. Big weekend for Melyssa Lombardi's crew at the Mary Nutter. Breaking that down after this on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear winter, Toyota can't get enough of you because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action and we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/24.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear winter, Toyota can't get enough of you because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action and we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/24.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle.
Or forget extra diapers.
You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember. Back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son? I left my heart.
Back here inside the Country Financial Studio on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Really, I did not know what I wanted to start the show with today because so much went down around the University of Oregon. I felt like I couldn't not start the show with men's basketball. And then I felt like I couldn't not follow that up with women's basketball senior day. But I wanted to start the show with the 5-0 weekend that Oregon softball had at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic because this was a tremendous weekend by all accounts for Oregon softball. The Ducks are now on a 10-game winning streak after they went 5-0 at the Mary Nutter against regional team after regional team. All 5 of the teams were regional teams from last year. 4 of the teams were inside the top 25 in various polls from around the country. It happened starting early on Thursday, a 5-4 win against Cal. Then Thursday in the doubleheader, a 1-0 win against Tennessee. We had that on the TV on in here, and oh my goodness, was it electric down the stretch. Then the next day, another doubleheader. Started with a 2-0 victory against Utah, and then a 7-2 win against San Diego State. Followed it up on Saturday with another ranked win and an 11-3 victory against Missouri. Oregon softball is playing some tremendous softball right now, and because Oregon swept the weekend, that means all 5 wins were the 196th, 197th, 198th, 199th, and 200th career win for Oregon's Melyssa Lombardi. Congrats, Coach. Congrats on 200. Big-time accomplishment for Coach Lombardi. And I think that she's just proud of how the team performed this weekend because Oregon, they were outstanding. Outstanding. I don't even think begins to cover it. Melyssa Lombardi, Oregon Sports Information Director Greg Walker was down there, got some audio of Melyssa Lombardi after what was resounding success, feels like an understatement this weekend. Melyssa Lombardi's thoughts on how Oregon performed against quality competition at the Mary Nutter.
We're here with Coach Lombardi, 5-0 record at the Mary Nutter Classic, first time since 2020, and congratulations, your 200th career win, Coach. Kind of a big day. Just what are your thoughts on the whole weekend and the day?
I love this team. I love the way they compete. I love the way that just how they play together. You just see their hard work that they've been putting in. Like they're starting to reap their harvest. They're starting to understand their identity. This is a big weekend for us, and I just love it.
The pitching was outstanding all weekend. We saw a little bit more of that today. I don't know if you can say enough about the job they've done, really, not just this weekend, but these last 10 games.
We've been talking a lot about strain and knowing each game we're going to have strain and who's who's ready to handle that for the team, and you could see the pitchers do that throughout the weekend. I loved watching our offense just absolutely coming out and putting pressure on the opponent right away and just getting good pitches to swing at and hitting them hard.
Yeah, talk about, we saw the long ball come out today with Emma, Stephanie, Riley had a couple. Now, you mentioned you've never seen a ball go quite as far as Stephanie's.
No, I've been coming to this tournament for a long time. I've never seen a ball hit the building like that, so love it.
And then how about talk about your freshmen there? All three of them hit home runs today, and they just keep stepping up.
I love what the freshmen are doing, but what I love is that our senior leadership and getting them to play early in their career, like getting the freshmen play early at a high level. That's what I love, is how they are responding to our leadership and just being simple. I think our entire team is just being very simple with what they're doing, understanding their process and getting after it.
And then I've talked to some of the players about this as well, but coming up, home opener at Jane Sanders Stadium, and how exciting is that going to be?
We cannot wait to open up the Jane. All we've been talking about is going through this weekend, getting what we want, going home, putting our suitcases away, and getting to go play at the Jane. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Thank you.
Going to be exciting for Oregon softball to open up Jane Sanders Stadium this weekend because, man, is the momentum in their favor, and some stellar performances across the board. I think got to start out with Lindsey Grine, who threw 18 shutout innings this weekend. When she was on the rubber, nobody scored. That's how you give your offense a chance throughout the entire weekend. You heard Greg Walker, Melyssa Lombardi. They mentioned Stephanie Maake, who hit a ball. The way that the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic is set up at the Big League Dream complexes is with the softball facility. They have the temporary softball fences, and then about 100 feet beyond that, there's what used to be baseball fences that represent old baseball stadiums. So the Ducks were playing at Yankee Stadium, and Steph Maake hit a ball that cleared the softball fence and hit the baseball fence about 300 feet away. I'm not sure I've ever seen a ball travel that far. She's got some legitimate power, but I think the story offensively has to be Riley McCoy. Did not start the opening week of the season. I don't think you can keep her out of the lineup now. She went 7 for 16 over the weekend at the Mary Nutter. 6 of her 7 hits were extra base hits, 2 doubles, and 4 homers. Oregon led the tournament with 9 combined home runs. McCoy slugging 1,300. Slugging percentage. 1,800 OPS on the weekend for Riley McCoy at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Tremendous weekend for the entire freshman class. Riley McCoy, after a strong start against quality competition, also got to chat with Greg Walker about her weekend.
We're here with Riley McCoy. 2 homers today, 4 homers for the weekend. And Riley, it's got to be a lot of fun when you're seeing that ball going out of the ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to get around the bases and jump into my teammates' little tunnel, and it means the world knowing that I get to touch home and they're all there supporting me.
Talk about 5-0 here at the Mary Nutter Classic. That's a huge accomplishment for the team. 5 teams that all made the NCAA tournament last year. And that's just got to give you guys a lot of confidence going forward.
Yeah, I think we prepared well, and it's going to allow us to go into the next week with more confidence and continuing to stay in ourselves, stay in our process, and go out next weekend with the same mentality.
Let's talk about your freshman teammate. Stephanie Maake hit a ball that they're saying was 300 feet, bounces off the facade out there of the fake Yankee Stadium. Have you seen anything like that?
She never lets me have my moment, ever. She makes me look weak, but it's so fun, us hitting back-to-back. It's, oh my gosh, the energy in the dugout and what she brings, it's so fun.
And last thing, heading home this week to Jane Sanders Stadium,
Let's
your first
go.
home opener. How
Yes.
excited are you?
So excited. I've been dreaming of this since I was little. So knowing that we get to have all the Ducks fans at the Jane and our supporters, it means everything to me.
Terrific. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Big weekend for Oregon softball. Huge weekend for Riley McCoy. Oregon across the board. A few Big Ten honors going to be coming down from the league office. Might already be out from the league office if you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour. But Oregon softball, really tremendous weekend. First poll released for softball this week. Softball America has the Ducks at number 13 in the polls. Oregon shooting up the rankings, and deservedly so. They were not the only Diamond Sport in action. there was actually many more sports in action. But Oregon baseball, also a strong weekend at PK Park, won another series, starting the season now 6-2 on the year. Breaking down what Oregon did this weekend against Rhode Island when we return on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah.
Back here on Duck Insider here in the Country Financial Studio, I was right. Oregon softball just released that Lindsey Grine, Riley McCoy, Big Ten pitcher and freshman of the week after Lindsey Grine threw 18 shutout innings at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, and Riley McCoy had 7 hits, 6 extra base hits, and 4 home runs in a 5-0 weekend at the Mary Nutter for Oregon softball. Oregon baseball was in action at PK Park, dropped a 12-11 game 1 of the series where Oregon had the tying run on third and the winning run on second, as close as you can be in baseball to coming back. Ducks didn't get it done, but then resiliency throughout the week where it was 11 innings, a 1-0 walk-off victory in Game 2. Then the offense came alive in Game 3, 19-12. And in Game 4, Oregon 15-2, a walk-off grand slam. 2 walk-offs on the weekend. This was a run rule walk-off in 7 innings for Oregon on a Sunday after a little bit of a lengthy delay. But overall on the weekend, after a disappointing Game 1, a successful remainder of the weekend for Oregon baseball. Mark Wazakowski, Oregon's head coach, talked with the media. We'll get to hear a little bit of him and his thoughts on the weekend as a whole, breaking down Oregon baseball this week.
What did you think of that, particularly with the delay, how you guys handled it? It looked like, obviously, the bat stayed hot.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played a complete game. I didn't think we got the best start in the world, but Will fought through it, and it was tough conditions when he was out there. He fought through it. For him to give up only a 1 in the first and then a 0 in the second, I thought was critical. And then obviously with the rain delay, we weren't going to, bring him back out there after a really long rain delay. And then for me, Michael Mechna was just tremendous. He did really well. Jackson Jordan did really well. The pitchers came in, they did a good job. It was a complete game.
A couple grand slams too, just the jobs guys did taking advantage of those opportunities. What do you think?
Well, I thought both those at-bats are really good. And even the one at the end, it's the scores, it's a run rule scenario there with just a sac fly. But, that's a same kind of feeling of a 3-3 game. type situation and you get a chance to be able to walk somebody off. That's exactly what that was, and he did a nice job, Anson did with that. And then earlier in the game with Burke's at-bat, I thought that was a tremendous at-bat. With the 1-2 count to be able to shorten up and just really put his best swing on a ball in that spot, I thought was a really old veteran thing. And then he caught a win. Equally as impressive was the backside 2 RBI single that he had with bases loaded early in the ball game. It was a long time ago, but for a freshman to be able to do that, be able to spin it to both sides of the field with really solid contact, it's pretty impressive.
I remember a scrimmage in the fall, him hitting a homer, and I texted Todd after that, like, whoa, this dude's got some power. I mean, just what's his potential, and what's it like to see him have some success like that he can hopefully build on?
Not sure where the limits are for our players. We try not to put any ceilings on it. We're excited about the fact that they're really good players, and we get to coach a lot of them, and it's a blessing to come to work every day.
Oregon baseball getting a series win against Rhode Island. Talking about Berkeley Mabius a little bit, had 6 runs batted in the ball game. We did some deep diving and digging on the broadcast. That we think is the most for a freshman since 2013 for Oregon baseball. Really strong job by Berkeley Mabius, really strong job by the Oregon baseball team getting back in the win column the last 3 games of the series. Also, Oregon Lacrosse was in action over at Pat Bay Field this weekend, got a 14-3 win over Central Michigan, a 4-0 start to the season for Jess Drummond, ties her program record for a 4-0 start to the season, looking to go for 5-0 and break her own record in the next contest. Oregon track and field, they had a dominant performance in the distance medley relay on the women's side of things, a collegiate record. Julia Nielsen, Mariah Oliveira, Mia Barnett, and Shalana Yildiz ran a 10:42.05 in Boston at the BU Invite and set a new collegiate NCAA record. Big time for Oregon track and field. Also in action for the first time this season, Oregon Beach Volleyball. They opened up their season with a 3-0 start. The first 3-0 start in program history. It was capped by a 5-0 victory over the host school, Corbin, in the Corbin Invite earlier this week. Also, Oregon women's tennis got a big double-header win. Well, one on Friday, one on Saturday. Beat UC Davis and St. Mary's this weekend as Oregon women's tennis continues to thrive. So much went on this weekend. I don't know how we got to it all. Joey's going to break some way more of it down tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Go Ducks.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by